Welcome. Thanks so much for joining me for this evening unwind practice of yoga. You can do right before bed or anytime you need to more deeply relax and restore your body, releasing stress and tension so that you can settle into healthy sleep. So if you'd like to start, we will begin with just a few postures in the seated position. So take a moment to sit up nice and tall. We'll unwind from the top down. If you'd like to start rolling your head a few times from side to side. Just feeling into your neck. It's good to start the day with a few neck rolls and neck stretches. It's also really good to end the day. Because, during sleep, we really have no idea how our head is placed, and sometimes it's just a little off and can cause some strain. So we want to loosen that up. And if you'd like, coming into a position where your ears in line over your shoulder, we'll hold that for a few breaths. And we'll come down with the chin again, rolling towards the other side, holding that for a few breaths. And then come down again, lifting your chin up and exhaling to drop your chin down. We'll continue that for two more. Maybe starting to invite more movement in the rest of your upper body too. So as you inhale, we'll open the chest a little bit more. Roll the shoulders back. On the exhale, chin down, shoulders forward. Let's do that for one more breath. Coming back to center. Next inhale, lift the shoulders up and release them down. Two more times like that. Inhaling up and exhaling down. And then placing your hands on top of your shoulders, we'll roll them out, moving in one direction a few times. And then we'll rotate in the opposite direction. Hoping to release all the stress and tension that we pick up during the day, ending up sometimes lodging in the shoulder area. So we're just going to create a little flow and movement to help release that. And with the next breath in, we're just going to reach the right arm straight up and exhale it over. Stay there for another breath. And inhale back up and exhale to release. Let's do the other side. And stay for a breath. And then inhaling up and exhaling to release. Good. Let's bring our legs out of that position. We can bring the soles of the feet together. A little bit of movement here for the hips, just a slight flutter up and down, helping to loosen up those joints. And then we'll lift the knees up a little bit higher. And on the exhalation, we'll let them release down. Not pushing down towards the floor, just helping them to release by relaxing here. And we'll do one more breath like that. Inhaling on the way up and exhaling as you release. Good. We'll keep that left leg in front and bring the right leg back. Just see if you can come into this different position. And in yin yoga, they call this deer pose. So my left leg is forward, my right leg is back, and my lower leg is just parallel with the edge of the mat. See if you can hold that for a few breaths. It can be quite a deep stretch. You can prop yourself up on a little support here if you have a block or cushion. Holding that for 2 to 3 more breaths. And then we'll just go into a little bit of a twist before we fully release. So bring your right hand across to your left knee. Stay for 2 more breaths. And then as you exhale, release. As you release, come back to center. Let's put all of our weight, let's shift it into the left hand. And this time, if you can pick up that right foot off the floor, hold on to it with your hand and bring it in towards your hip. Pausing here for a breath or two. And then we'll slowly release that leg, straighten it right out to the side. Sit up nice and tall, center yourself here, and we'll come forward slightly. So you can bring your fingertips to the floor in front. Point your right toes up in the air, center your heel. Come as far forward as it's comfortable for you. And then we'll come back to center. One more thing, inhaling, reaching the arms straight up. And exhale, we'll come over that right side. You can use your belt. You can just let your hands rest wherever they're comfortable. Coming into more of a leg stretch here. Wherever you are in your pose, just be okay being in that position. Adjusting as you need to if you're really not comfortable. And coming back to center. Okay, so we're going to come out of that pose. We're going to actually, I'm going to take my socks off. They're just getting in the way now. I'm going to bring my legs out in front and I'm going to move the legs from side to side a few times, helping to release. Breathing here. And as you move your legs one way, slight twist around to the other side. Just look in the opposite direction. Come back to center. Shift your hips the other way and look to the other side. And then we'll release, come back to center, this time placing your right leg in front and your left leg behind. So see how that feels for your left leg. You can, of course, modify, alter that position as you need to. And sitting up nice and straight and tall. So you might feel this a little bit more in your left hip as you set your sit bones down. Breathing here. Or come into a twist. So we're going to cross the left hand over to the right knee and come into the twist to the right side. Stay for 2 more breaths. And then we'll come back to center, releasing that, bringing more weight onto the right side, right hand, reaching up, seeing if you can pick up that foot off the floor now, bring it in towards the back of your hip. A few breaths here. And then we'll release the leg out to the side. center yourself. Sitting up nice and tall, and then we'll come forward. And you can come forward as much as it's comfortable to do so. Keep that left foot toes pointing up. And next time you inhale, come back to center, reach through your arms, and we'll come over that leg for a few breaths. Find your place that works for you. Feel your leg release. Encourage release to happen as you soften, as you breathe. Be gentle with your body wherever you are. And slowly come up. And for a moment, just stretch out through both legs. Point the toes and then flex. Do that a couple more times. And then roll through the feet. At the same time, let's also roll through the wrists. Opposite direction. We'll release that. And we're going to come off our seat. So if you want to bring both legs to the side, both feet to the side, come over onto hands and knees. As you come into tabletop for a few breaths, shifting more weight toward the outer edge of your hand, and then just a little more weight into the fingertips. Exhale, arch your back. And inhale to slowly release and look forward. And just continue this flow for the next few breaths. Feel movement through your entire spine. Moving with your breath. One more like this. As you inhale, release, come back to center. Exhale, we're going to get ready for child's pose. If you want to use support, bring something to underneath your upper body. If you have a bolster, a few blocks, or even just a big pillow or two. Pausing here. Allowing your body to settle. Getting as comfortable as you can. Altering your position if you need to. If you need to be a little more elevated in the hips, you can come forward. It's also good if the knees find this position difficult. So you can modify it however you need to. Feel your breath more in your back. Breathe into any space you want in your back. You can open that space up with your inhale and release it with your exhale. Stay for 2 more breaths. If your head is turned to the side on your support, turn it to the other side. We'll begin to transition back. If you'd like to just bring your hands towards you, push into your hands for a moment. I'm going to curl the toes under, do a little bit of a stretch for the feet. See what feels manageable here. You could be in this position, curling the toes. You could come onto the feet. I always like to do this one with a bit of support. So I put a couple blocks here underneath. You can see what I'm doing here. Everything's the same color, so it's tricky. But I've got a couple blocks underneath for quite a deep foot stretch. So see if that feels okay. If not, again, you can come forward a little bit more. Okay. And from here, we're just going to do one standing pose. If you'd like to lift up into your standing forward bend, let your head hang, let your arms hang. And if you'd like to do more of the ragdoll style forward bend, you can cross your arms. And bending your knees generously to slowly come up. And we'll stand up just for a few breaths. In our standing pose, let's actually do a side bend. So if you want to reach your arms up, and on the exhalation, come over. And inhale, reach your arms up. And exhale to come over. And inhale to reach your arms, this time stepping your feet wide apart. And as you come down, we'll be in a forward, wide-legged forward bend. Try not to let your feet roll in towards the inside edge of your feet, but bring more weight to the outer edge. And then we're just going to walk our hands over to the left side and turn the left foot so that you're coming down into a lunge, resting on that right leg. Pausing here for a few breaths in the lunge so you can see my knee bent there. If you need some blocks under your hands, feel free. Depending on how far back your knee is, it can be quite a deep stretch for your thigh and your hip. And then we're going to walk the hands back in towards the center and walk them towards the other side, slowly coming into the lunge over the right foot. And again, if you'd like to use support, you can place blocks underneath your hands. So my fingertips are on the mat, but my base of my hand supported. Pausing here for about 3 more breaths. You can come up onto your back foot, just slide your hands back to center to sink down. And walk your hands forward and walk your feet in. And then walk your hands back. We're going to slowly, slowly, slowly rise up. Reaching through your arms on the inhale. And on the exhale, release. And we're going to come down slowly onto the back. Get anything you need to end up here for a few moments at the end in Shavasana. And we'll come down really slowly. And rest your back on your mat. Keeping your knees bent to start, feet on the floor. Breathing here. And then we'll reach out through the arms and slowly take the legs a few times from side to side. And this time, as you take your legs to one side, you can bring them right together and hold them there for a few breaths. If you'd like to, if the legs are going, say, to the right, you can bring your right hand to the top leg there. And with the left arm, you could even slide it up so that it's more above you, alongside the side of your head, still resting on the floor, but just more in that reaching position over your head. And then you can let the arm come back, sliding it down again. And it could even slide right down towards your hip there. Just as far as it comfortably wants to go. On the inhale, slowly reach it back up. And then we'll come more back to center with the arm and the leg, bringing the left knee in and crossing the left ankle over top of the right thigh. And push into it there for a few breaths. When you're ready, bringing your hands behind your right knee. Alternately, you could use a belt instead of your hands. You could take blocks underneath your right foot and just hold that position there. Here, you can also lift your right leg up. Helping to release any stagnation in your blood flow in your leg. So this is really good to put your leg foot higher than your heart, improving circulation. And then we'll slowly release. And let go through your right foot and then your left. And this time we're going to bring the legs to the other side. In the twist. And start with both arms out to the sides. You can bring your other hand on top of that leg. Breathing and softening. And if you'd like, you can start to lift that arm up a little bit higher. And of course, it's okay if it doesn't come right up along the side of the head here. Just finding a position that feels good. And slowly slide it down towards your legs. And then slowly bring it up again. And then releasing it back. It's more of that central position. And we'll bring the legs back to center. And centering your your hips. You can do a little bridge lift to come off the mat with your hips and then roll back down to center your spine. Bring your right knee in towards your chest and we'll cross that ankle over the left thigh. Pressing into that leg for a few breaths. And then you can slide your hands behind your left knee or use the belt or use the blocks. Keep breathing here. And if you'd like, you can also lift up that left leg. Keep the breath flowing slow and steady. It'll help your body to release. Help your muscles to relax, to let go of the tensing and gripping. And then slowly start to release this position. You can bring both legs back to the starting position, feet on the floor. And then one at a time, bring those knees in towards the chest and do just a little rock from side to side. And from here, open the knees outwards to the sides, bring the hands to the lower legs and bring the feet together in a raised butterfly position. If you'd like to move into the happy baby from here, feel free. You can reach your feet up. Hold on wherever you can on your legs. And bringing your feet back together. And slowly releasing your feet one at a time to the floor. If you'd like to continue that reclined butterfly, keep here for a few breaths. Feet now on the mat, knees wide. If you would like, you can also add a bit of support to underneath the legs. If you have some cushions or blocks, you can put them on either side to support the legs. Or if you have a bolster, feel free to place that underneath your knees. Try to keep your knees wide there with your feet together. Let the breath continue to flow. Breathing in, a nice slow deep breath in. And breathing out, a nice slow, complete release. At any time you'd like to come out of this position, just bring your hands to the sides of your legs, push the legs back together. And preparing for Shavasana, however you'd like to be placed here. If you'd like to continue to use support underneath the knees, the bolster, feel free. Cover up. Maybe at this time, it's close to bedtime for you and you could just do this pose in bed, transitioning right to sleep so that you don't even need to come out. Spend a few moments, conscious relaxation, making your way through with your attention through your entire body, starting with your head, letting the back of your head settle more deeply down into the support. Releasing, softening everywhere in your head, your face, your jaw. And let the relaxation spread down through the rest of your body, starting with the neck, moving down into the shoulders, the chest, the upper back, the right arm, the right hand, feeling that whole right side, and then up towards the shoulders again, the left arm, the left hand, both arms, both hands. And now back to the torso, starting with the upper body, feeling the entire way down towards your belly. Softening right through your back as well, from the top down. So you get to the back of the hips, the pelvis, the right hip, the right leg, the right foot. And coming back up to the hips, across to the left hip, left leg, left knee, left lower leg and ankle and foot. And then feeling into both legs and feet. Coming up again, feeling your feet, your legs, your hips, your back, the front of your torso, the shoulders, the arms, the head, face, entire body now. Perhaps feeling more connected as a whole, as one whole entity. As your breath comes in and out, feeling that sense of both energy and relaxation. Continue to focus more on your breath. And for the last few breaths, if you'd like to join me, a really wonderful breath to do at the very end of the day, right before you fall asleep, is called the Brahmari breath, or Brahmari is the correct pronunciation. And this one it's very simple. All we're going to do is on the exhalation, keep the lips together and create the humming sound. So that sound. And we draw that sound out as long as we can, comfortably with the exhalation. For an added benefit of helping to calm the mind and soothe any anxious thoughts, It's very great for anxiety. You can close the ear flaps with the index fingers just lightly. And we'll do this about for 3 breaths before we end. So taking a nice deep breath in. On the exhalation, making that humming sound. And your breath, of course, might not be in sync with mine, so just continue to breathe. 2 more breaths like that. And when you're doing that on your own, you can do it anywhere from 10 to 15 times to help settle you more completely, release any stress or tension, anxiety, especially in the mind. Like to start to deepen your breath, wiggle your fingers and toes, stretching your body however you'd like to. And bring those feet in again, bending the knees. And you can roll over onto your side when you're ready. And closing off your practice whenever you're ready. You don't have to come up just yet if you're still in it. We will end tonight with our gratitude practice. It's a wonderful daily practice to help us dramatically increase our happiness. It's a practice to open the heart and a reminder that here and now in the present moment, there's always many things that we can be grateful for. So simply, I am grateful for all that I have. If you like, you can be specific to get in the habit of also extending that gratitude to others and letting them know how much you appreciate them. And thank you so much for joining in. Namaste. I hope you have a great evening, a wonderful sleep, and see you again soon.